welcome back to the Block Party, your source for everything music and pop culture. I'm your host, Alana, and this is my guest for this week.
Hi, I'm Ryan Wilson.
So our first topic for the Block Party is the new Netflix series, Grand Army. Grand Army recently premiered on Netflix, and it's about 5 high school students at Grand Army High School and how their lives have changed after a recent bombing in their neighborhood. The series is overall really good, and I really enjoyed the series, but some of the characters, actually most of the characters, are so annoying, and that's what makes it really realistic to me, is that, because we all know somebody that fits at least one of these characters. Like, everybody knows a Layla.
Everyone knows a Joey.
Yeah, everybody knows a Layla, because there's always that one freshman that's just really annoying. Like,
boy obsessed.
Just
doesn't care about school.
Doesn't care about anything except boys. Will ruin a friendship for a boy. Will get a school day canceled for a boy.
Yes.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about with that one, just keep watching.
It's so good.
You
have to keep watching.
It's really good. I binge watched all of it. It was so great.
I watched all of it in 2 days.
Yes.
2 days.
I like that they brought up a lot of really serious topics that can happen in high school. And what I really like is that they're actually portrayed as high schoolers, because a lot of like series and movies, they'll try to portray the characters as high schoolers, but a lot of it is just very unrealistic. A lot of it's more things that would happen in college, if that makes sense.
Exactly. I was watching it and reading some articles about it, and I thought that instead of having a main, I thought of it like Degrassi kind of, but for now, you know how they focus on everyone in the cast, not just one person or two people or one relationship. It was kind of all the relationships intertwined with each other. And that's why one of the reasons I really liked it. And it was the whole cast was very diverse, and that was one thing. But just some of the characters,
it's trash. Like Anna was a bad friend to Joey. I'm just going to say that.
Yes.
Like,
in the first episode, you'll see why.
Because the first episode, you can see that Joey cares a lot for her, because that was something I would never do for anybody.
Yes.
Not even my best friend. I'm so sorry if you see this. I love you, but I'm not doing that for you.
No.
But yeah, they treated Joey very poorly, and I don't know who I felt worse for, Joey or Dom, because Dom had a very tricky situation.
That's a tough one.
Because Dom did what she had to do to try and save her family.
She was really hustling. She was the
hustling.
Definition of a female hustler.
She was a straight hustler. Look, she had her hair business.
Yes.
She was doing hair.
Yes.
She was selling whatever she needed to help her family get through, and she was willing to actually marry for money. So I really think she should get Daughter of the Year.
Yes,
but
100%.
Her and John.
Their relationship is so cute.
It
just brings me hope and joy. Like, I was watching this and I forget that these are actors. And I was like, oh my goodness, John.
It's just like they
so
have the
cute.
cutest relationship ever. And like, he brought her flowers. Like, they just don't do that anymore. I'm so sorry.
Some of them.
I don't know. Yours might. I don't. Look, I can't even. Look, it gave me hope, because I can't even get a $5 fill up out of some of these dudes. Let's be honest.
$5 fill up.
Yes, a $5 fill up, because they be cheap, they be stingy. That's okay, but that's fine. But I just really feel like I love the complexity of all the characters.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't just like one storyline. It's like they all had a bunch of storylines weaving into one. Just like Sid, his was.
Yes. Sid's storyline made me cry.
It did.
And I'm not a crier, and that made me cry.
Yeah, it was just like.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I felt bad, because it was like he poured his heart and soul into that essay, and somebody just leaked it. And that was something that was very important, and something he wasn't really ready to share with the world yet.
Exactly.
So I just feel like I'm happy that his essay did what he needed it to do. I'm just upset for him because he wasn't ready to share that.
Yeah.
And for somebody to just share something so personal like that is just ridiculous. But it's high school, so it's going to happen.
What do you expect, honestly? High school was brutal.
High school was brutal for me, too.
High school was very brutal.
Yeah. If I had the chance to redo high school, I don't think I would do it.
Neither would I. I would not do it. But I would watch Grand Army for a second time. I would go back and rewatch it.
I'm going to binge watch Grand Army again later. I'm not going to lie to you. That was really good. I can't wait for the next season.
Me too. I don't know when they're going to film it. Because, you know, everything going on right now. But
I feel like coronavirus is going to be a big part of the next season too, because when Joey was walking down the street, you could hear in the radio they were talking about the coronavirus.
Yes, because I know it was set in March of this year,
Yeah.
or at least sort to the end of the season. It was set in March, so I was like, okay, they're going to introduce the pandemic.
Get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to really be interesting for next season is seeing the repercussions for Layla. Because you can hear in the background, oh, that person's going to get like 3 to 5 years in prison. So keep your head up, girl. But
I don't know,
Miss Mamas, that's a federal crime. You're gonna go. So sorry.
I am not sorry for what happens to Layla. I'm gonna be completely honest.
That's what happens when you get way too boy crazy and nobody checks you for it.
Yep.
But on to our next topic. Kendall Jenner is in hot water for throwing a birthday party in the middle of a pandemic. On Saturday, October 31st, Kendall Jenner threw herself a 25th birthday party with reportedly 100 people in attendance with no mask on. It is important to note that they also got coronavirus tested an hour prior to their entrance, but we're still in a pandemic, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
does not make any sense. People, I get it that you're a model and you have a bunch of money, but a lot of people look up to you, and the fact that you're throwing yourself a birthday party with way more than you were supposed to, like almost 100 people, and no social media allowed.
Did she really think that was gonna work?
I don't know. There's
people
literally everywhere
have their hands like glued to their phone and to their Snapchat. Did she really think her putting on a flyer, no social media, was gonna keep somebody from posting it or keeping some media outlet from finding out about it?
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't see. I mean, a birthday party, maybe just go home and spend time with your family. Like, I get it, you want to celebrate, but we are still in a pandemic. We need to be safe and be cautious of everyone who is still either sick, healthy, whatever. We need to be caring for everyone, not just herself.
And if she wanted to throw herself a party, there is very much a way she could have thrown it, and it would have been a better regulation for it. Mm-hmm. She could have a party with 20 people or 30 people. Like, she did not even have that many people. And I know Kris Jenner is getting on everybody because that's her daughter. But at the same time, your daughter's a grown woman. Excuse me. And she knows what she did. And she's going to have to take accountability for it.
It's her choice.
Right.
She threw the party.
Right. Of course somebody's going to say something. We're in a pandemic. People have lost family members because of the negligence of others. Mm-hmm. So obviously somebody's going to say something about your daughter being reckless.
Exactly.
And not everybody has money for top doctors or lawyers or whatever.
Medicine. So it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, people are still dying. Well, I just don't see the reason why she needed to throw this party.
Yeah.
She has so much money. She could just stay home.
Exactly. And like, I get you have the privilege that you can have top doctors like at your expense, but not everybody has that. And to me, it was just her flaunting her wealth and her privilege in everybody else's face, which is just a little insensitive.
Exactly. Very.
So I just really feel like, have you ever noticed it's always the Kardashians and the Jenners that are doing this? Have you ever noticed that?
Honestly,
it's like they're just so tone deaf.
Didn't Kim Kardashian rent like a private island for her 40th birthday party, and her whole family was there? Like,
what really tripped me out about her 40th, she threw it as a sweet 16. I was very confused. I was like, I mean, if you in denial, that's good for you, girl, but
as a sweet 16?
Yes, I was just like, nah, you're like a 40-something-year-old woman. You're throwing yourself a sweet 16. But I mean, if that's what you want,
live your life.
If that's what you want, who am I to tell you you can't have a sweet 16?
Yeah,
but
live your life. Just be cautious of everyone because we are still in a pandemic.
Speaking of the Kardashians, Kanye West bought Kim Kardashian a hologram message of her late father, Robert Kardashian, for her birthday. And it's raised a lot of eyebrows. I can't lie to you because people do not tend to like when people buy the holograms. They didn't like it with Whitney Houston. They didn't like it with Michael Jackson. They really didn't like it with Prince.
Or Amy Winehouse.
God rest her soul. Beautiful voice. Mm-hmm. But it just kind of brings up the topic again. Is using holograms of the deceased okay? Is it disrespectful?
Honestly, I think that using holograms of the deceased is not okay. I don't see the need. Honestly, they creep me out a ton. Just looking at someone who has passed recently. It just is very creepy, and it gives me a queasy stomach. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I see the reasoning why. Honestly, they miss their loved ones. They want to bring them back. But personally, for me, I do think it's very disrespectful, and it's just very uneasy. Like, I really don't understand it.
Now, if it was for like a concert, I would kind of understand the hologram because that way you're not putting words into a dead person's mouth. Yeah. But in this case, I feel it's just a little bit distasteful because you're making up a message for somebody that has passed, and that has passed a while ago.
This is a very good
While
point.
it was a very sweet gesture, I would give Kanye that. That was a very sweet gesture. I probably would have cried if my husband did that for me. Yeah. But I just feel like at the same time, what if Kim just really wouldn't have been okay with that?
Yeah, how would she react? What was her reaction, honestly?
She sounded like surprised, but you can never just really tell because she's a reality TV star. She could have been faking it. That could have really taken her out a little bit.
Did not take account of that.
Because if it's somebody that you just love really, truly, and deeply, something like that could really it could break you down a little bit. I won't lie to you. If somebody got me a hologram of my late grandfather, I would probably cry. I probably would not be okay with it just because it's always going to hurt.
Yes.
You know?
It brings back all the memories that you had to go through beforehand, and it just brings them up literally in a form of a hologram. Yeah. So you get to look at them, and you're just like,
and then what? I know for Kim, it probably might sting a little bit more because she has kids now. She's like, well, my dad never got to meet my kids. He never got to form that connection. He never got to meet my current husband. So there's always things like that you have to keep in mind when you're getting a hologram. Just to keep the other person in mind. Just because you never know where somebody's head's at and you always want to check up on other people.
Honestly.
Okay, for our next topic, is Dave East homophobic? I think yes. Dave East recently took to Instagram to call out Lil Nas X and call him a very, very, very derogatory Jamaican term for gay men. And Lil Nas X clapped back at him, and good for you. Good for you. He called him out. He said, if you're going to be offensive towards me, if you're going to insult me, at least know how to spell it right.
Honestly.
That's my whole thing. If you're going to come for me, at least know how to spell it, baby.
Don't. Know your facts. Know what you're going to say. Right.
Because I looked up what Davies called him so I could translate it because I'm not Jamaican, obviously. I'm not going to know what that means. I looked it up, and that's very disrespectful. Very. And why was that his business in the first place? If he wants to dress up like Nicki Minaj, let him do it.
He really killed that outfit, though.
He did kill that outfit.
I didn't even realize it was Lil Nas X. I was like, oh, Nicki looks different today. I was like, wait a minute.
And what? Was like, wait, what? Like, double take, hold on. Lil Nas X really won Halloween with that one.
Yes, he did.
But I just really feel like Dave East, baby, focus on your children. Focus on whatever girl you got right now. And why do straight men always feel like they need to have an opinion about a gay man?
Honestly.
What are they doing that is bothering you? They're being themselves. How is this bothering you?
Let us know.
Are you in the closet, sir? Is that why it's bothering you? Like, are you just upset that somebody's not afraid to be themselves out loud? Is that what's bothering you? It just doesn't make sense to me. Because he wasn't bothering anybody. It was all for jokes. And it was for Halloween. Everybody dresses up as somebody else for Halloween. Like, I could dress up like a male character. Is that call for you calling me something homophobic? No. So, I just really don't feel like... Men have way too many opinions for me, if I'm being honest. Like, honestly. And then it's always an opinion on something that has nothing to do with them. Like, they have a comment on gay men. They have a comment on women's bodies. They have comments on abortion. None of this pertains to you. Like, I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. I honestly don't know what to do. It hurts me. It honestly hurts me. Especially looking at the tweet and, like, what Davey said. I was like, why? Like, I just don't get... It's not in your... But keep your opinions to yourself. Just please, for the sake of everyone, keep it to yourself. Or just say a positive thing. Like, I was watching Mean Girls the other day. Remember when that one girl, like, falls off the bridge? She's like, why can't we just be positive to everyone? Why? Let us know.
That's a good point. Please. Because it's people like Dave East and people like Boosie. And they're going to raise the next generation of homophobic men for no reason. Meanwhile, they're out being disrespectful to women. Or in Boosie's case, being disrespectful to a mannequin of a woman. Because why are you groping a mannequin in a store. You are a grown man, not a child. Why are you feeling up a mannequin and letting somebody record that? That's gross.
Very
That's
disturbing.
weird. It's getting very weirdo, sweetie. Please stop. Please. Like, honestly. So, our next topic is Beyonce retiring, and that one hurt me to say. Social media users have jumped to conclusions that she is retiring from the industry following her interview with British Vogue, in which she says that she wants to focus on her family. Please don't retire, Beyonce.
Please.
Please.
We need new music. Please.
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 And I know you were telling me earlier that it has something to do with Blue Ivy.
Apparently, I was reading something about how she, like, maybe I'm not sure, but how her stepping down could have a place for Blue Ivy to step in. And for Blue Ivy to start having a career in music. And I'm just like...
Okay, here's my thing. She's like 6. Like, why are you stepping down to give Blue Ivy a place? And she's like 6. Can the girl count? Does she know her ABCs yet? Can we focus on that first?
Please.
Please keep giving us music.
Please.
Because if she quits to make room for Blue Ivy, what if Blue Ivy can't even sing? What if Whitney Houston had did that for Bobby Christina? We know Bobby Christina couldn't sing.
True.
We heard that monstrosity. That was terrible. That was bad. My ears bled that day. Like, please don't. Like, I get, like, why she's doing it, but at the same time, she hasn't fully developed yet, so we don't know what she's going to sound like by the time she's, like, a preteen or something like that. Because we don't even know if she can actually sing now, if I'm being honest.
I don't know. Maybe Beyonce wants to do something like Rihanna and make a whole other business. I know she has Ivy Park, obviously, and, you know, her husband have Tidal with the streaming service. So maybe she's just tired. I mean, she has been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
But her music speaks to that.
Yeah.
Beyonce is Beyonce. Like, let's be honest.
Beyonce's always going to be Beyonce. There
Exactly.
will never be another Beyonce. And if we're being honest, Beyonce is our generation's Michael Jackson.
Oh.
What? Is that an unpopular opinion?
I don't know. I love Michael Jackson. I was listening to him this morning.
I know, but
I do see what you're saying though, because Beyonce has been out before I was born, and I still listen to her. So I do see where you're coming from.
And then their stories are kind of parallel if you think about it. Both of them came from a very successful group. Michael Jackson had Jackson 5. Beyonce had Destiny's Child. They both went solo, and they're both doing great solo. Both have had little acting roles here and there, even though it should be an unpopular opinion. Beyonce can't act. Y'all can roast me in the comment section if you want to. I don't think Beyonce can act. It's not her forte. I love you, but please stop. But that's our generation's Michael Jackson. If you just really think about it, there's not another entertainer who's going to be on her level for us.
That does make a point, honestly, yeah. But I don't know. We'll have to see if she retires or not.
We'll have to see. We just, baby girl, Miss Beyonce, Mrs. Carter, please don't. Because the way music is just going to plummet. But she had a really great year this year. She had Black is King.
Yes.
She had the Savage remix and her new drop for Ivy Park.
Yes.
So I can get why baby girl is tired. She's been carrying the world on her shoulders for 30 years?
A long time.
Yeah.
Very, very long time.
So I get why she needs a break. But just don't retire. Just cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
So our next topic, celebrity first-time voters. Celebrities recently took to Instagram and Twitter to voice that this is their first time voting in this current election. Selena Gomez says, honestly, I'm not ashamed to say this, but this was my first time. And I'm going to say this because I never felt like she needed to. And I really think that's kind of interesting how many celebrities are just now voting and they feel like this is the most important one for them.
Mm-hmm.
And as a first-time voter myself, I completely agree that this was the most important election. I'm happy that this is my first presidential election.
Me too. I'm very happy.
Yeah. And Snoop Dogg and Mike Tyson also said this was their first time voting, and they didn't know that they were allowed to vote because they had criminal records.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like people need to be more blunt and honest with former felons about their rights and what they can and what they cannot do.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I feel like especially with going on with everything, the election, I know as of right now, they're still counting votes and everything. I just feel like there needs to be a lot more awareness and a lot more understanding of what the process is and who can vote and who can't.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it's really vague. And when they run through people who have been released from jail or prison, what their rights are, what they can and what they cannot do, I don't feel like they need to be crystal clear with what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they're very vague with these people because a lot of the times, even regular civilians don't know that felons can vote. And it just takes a lot of research. And I feel like it should be one of those things that's in concrete that we just know up front.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like how it feels like, to me, the government hides a lot of rights to people.
Yep.
Because it's a lot of stuff that people can do that they don't know that they can do because it's kind of hidden, like, in between the lines.
A little text. Yeah.
And also, Shaq says this will be his first time voting. When asked why he's never voted before, the former Lakers star said he never understood the electoral college system. And let me say, same, because I completely don't understand.
AP Gov.
What's the point of the popular vote if the electoral college decides who wins?
AP Gov did not help me with that one. I'm gonna be honest, it confuses me too.
Yeah.
It still does.
And then my senior year got cut short, so we had just got to that, so I don't know. But you know whose fault that is. Yeah, think about that.
Honestly.
Think about it. Sit there, marinate in it.
It
Whose
hurts.
fault is that? That's why you're losing right now. Anyway, child. But with the electoral college, I feel like we should abolish the electoral college. Personally, to me, just because I feel like, why do we need that? Because if y'all wanted us to vote, why? It kind of makes it seem like our vote doesn't matter, but I know my vote does matter.
Exactly. I know before this I was talking to some of my friends who have voted. This is also my first time voting. I know a lot of them because we all just turned 18. And we're all so confused about the electoral college. Yeah. And then when we found out that like Snoop Dogg was voting, we were like, oh, we thought he already voted before. Or like Selena Gomez, I always thought that she voted before. And it kind of confuses me on why, especially Selena Gomez, that since she said it was her first time, how she never felt her vote counted. Like I don't understand why that doesn't make sense to me, since she's very famous, a famous actress and singer. And, movie star. I mean, Wizards of Waverly Place was a great TV show. Yeah. But other than that, it just really confused me. Like, I just left feeling confused.
Yeah, and I think all of it does boil down to the electoral college. So, speaking of voting, Lil Wayne is also a Trump supporter. How great is that, right? Especially considering how adamant he used to be, like, in his earlier days about how he doesn't like the government and how nobody is for black people. And now it just kind of feels like him and a plethora of other black and brown celebrities have kind of turned their back on their communities just for the sake of money and because of taxing. So what are your thoughts on this?
It sickens me. It sickens me. Especially looking at, like, Lil Wayne. Like, I love to listen to his music. I'm a Lil Wayne fan. And the fact when I saw this sickens me. Like, I don't understand how and why he would support a racist. I don't understand. Why would he support a big orange man? And, I mean, he lost his girlfriend for this. His girlfriend broke up with him. I'm not sad about it.
I'm not either.
She chose the right way. And a lot of his fans feel sickened like I do. I mean, personally, when I heard the news, it was just, I had no words.
Especially considering his main demographic that listens to his music are black and brown people. And he himself is a black man. Yep. So I just don't understand how you can fix your mouth to endorse a man that has consistently said things that are false against the black community and who has said things against the women. And we all know how much he loves his daughter.
Yep.
He has basically admitted to sexual assault.
Disgusting.
Like, I don't get how you can support a man like that. And you have basically nothing but daughters, too. So I just really don't get how he can endorse Donald Trump. And a lot of his fans feel betrayed, and I do too, because I grew up on Lil Wayne.
Exactly.
A lot of us did, and we grew with his music. And quite frankly, I think he took his song, Mrs. Officer, a little bit too seriously, because now he's working with Trump.
Yep.
And
you can't listen to that song the same again.
Right.
Can't do it.
Honestly, I would have preferred if he had backed Kanye at this point. And we all know how I feel about Kanye.
Kanye... He tried.
He did try.
So many people voted for Kanye.
Yes. Speaking of voting for Kanye, election results. We are still waiting to find out who the president of the United States is, and we might be waiting till November 14th.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
oh
we're
my
gonna be at a
goodness.
standstill for a long time. But what we do know for right now, at least 50,000 people voted for Kanye Omari West. Why?
I would love to ask them why.
Why?
Please. The picture of Kanye looking at the results with his head down does make me sad.
No, it shouldn't. It don't make me sad. Why did you even do this? What was his platform?
He tried, but
what was his plan?
No one knows. I think he might have just did it for a joke.
See,
I don't know.
And that's the type of stuff that would irritate me because we already don't like who's in office. Well, some of us. I'm not going to speak for everybody because there's probably some viewers that like Trump and that are looking at me like she doesn't know what she's talking about, you know? But I just feel like now is not the time to do that.
It's really not.
It's not.
It was disrespectful.
Yeah, that was 50,000 votes that could have went either way. But it
just makes me so sad. This is where I lose hope in America. And
you had hope in America?
No, but it's just going. It's in the negatives. It's in the negatives. It's very disturbing.
And it's the fact that I know people who voted for Kanye.
Yep.
Said, I almost voted for Kanye. Why would you do that?
I would love to sit all those people who voted for him and ask why.
Because I know those are the same people who probably would have told me in 2016, oh yeah, I voted for Trump as a joke. And now look at where we are.
Yep. Thanks. Yay.
Yay. Your joke landed us still in the middle of a pandemic, baby. How's it going? Yeah, and it's sad. And this election is very close, though.
Yes.
So that's a great thing. Biden is now on track to win Nevada and Georgia.
That excites me.
It excites me,
That makes me happy.
Didn't Pennsylvania flip, too?
Yes, this morning.
Yes,
I saw on the little New York Times graph.
I just need one of those states to officially turn blue. That way, Joseph Biden can officially be our next president.
He's so close.
It is.
I feel like I've been waiting for hours. I feel like every moment I'm just checking my phone, like refreshing, just to see if anything changes, and nothing changes.
Right.
Nothing changes.
It's like I'm asking people what's the score. Like we're watching the NBA finals. Like I'm asking every 5 minutes. Like what's going on? What happened? Like I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up and I'll check my phone. Like nothing's changed. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little afraid for Biden to win.
How so?
Just because I know there have been threats apparently.
Yes. Yep.
Of people just gonna go around killing people of color and gay people. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like it should ever be that serious.
Yeah, honestly, I feel the same way. I know in a few like group chats I'm in, they were texting and they're like, "Hey, everybody, be safe this weekend and everything." Like, I know I should be worried, but I am worried. Yeah. But I don't know. It just still makes me feel that like, okay, what if Biden wins? When he hopefully wins, that we're all so scared. Yeah. Like, even more anxiety than we've had these past few days.
Yeah, so I really think my main thing is people who are afraid of Biden winning are afraid of being taxed. And most of them are not in that tax bracket. Mm-hmm. So they really shouldn't be afraid anyway, which you broke asses. But the people who are afraid of Trump winning, they're afraid for their own life.
Exactly.
Like,
they're afraid for their rights.
Yeah. And it's just like, we shouldn't have to fear for our lives like this over a presidential election.
Exactly.
That just shows you how much hatred and division he's caused in these 4 years. And I just think it's really sad because I distinctly remember being a freshman in high school.
Yes. Oh.
And I remember waking up that day. And I remember
seeing the news.
Yeah, my jaw just dropped.
I thought it was fake.
And I remember within the weeks after that, there was at least 2 KKK rallies where I'm from. Because I'm from the South.
Yeah, I'm not from the South. I'm from like an hour from Chicago. So
yeah. So I'm from Memphis. So it was, and y'all already know how y'all stereotype Tennessee. And some of them are true. And in that case it was, which was really sad because that's just petrifying to think about. Because I remember my friends taking pictures of like crosses burning, like people walking up and down the street. And I was just like, this is going to be my life for the next 4 years.
Well, hopefully that will be, I don't even know. I'm just scared. Yeah. I'm very scared. Whichever way this goes, I'm still scared.
So, to end this on a much lighter note, we have our first fantasy battle royale featuring the original cast of Total Drama Island. If all of the girls from the original Total Drama cast got into a fight, who do you think would win?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I love Deshawn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's gonna win.
LaShonda's not gonna win. It's gonna be Eva. Eva has straight hands. Eva has Black Forces energy. Like,
I mean, I feel like she's really sweet inside though. I feel like on the outside
No.
she's like, I'm tough.
no,
Tough.
no. I feel like she would spit on a squirrel. No, I don't.
Squirrel.
Even though those squirrels on that show were evil, like all those little woodland creatures were just so agitated
100%.
for no reason.
Watching it as a kid and rewatching it like last summer, I was like, why were they so mean?
Right?
Why?
It was kind of funny though.
It was funny.
Honestly, I feel like the last two standing would be Eva and LaShawna, and the only way LaShawna would win is if like Eva said something about Harold or like just called her something really out of pocket. She would have to be running on straight rage to be Eva. I'm so sorry.
But as I was looking back at the cast, I remember as a kid how much I liked Gwen.
Yes, Gwen. She was the baddest one on that show.
Gwen but I feel like she wouldn't win though.
Yeah, Gwen is not winning that. I'm so sorry. She would probably beat up Courtney and Heather. But
yep, I was just about to say Courtney.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the blonde one would go out first. What was her name? Bridget? No, not Bridget.
Brittany?
Yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah, she's going out first. Like, Heather's little minion, she's going out first.
Yeah.
Honestly, Heather would probably be the one to take her out.
But what do you think about who would win? Like the dude-wise?
If we're counting Chris and Chef Hatchet's gonna win.
I completely forgot about Chef Hatchet, and just so you mentioned him with his little hat and his knife.
Chef Hatchet has the strongest neck I have ever seen. Like, his neck could probably bench 460. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's like
it's just like so thick and muscly. Like, it's kind of creepy.
But within the teenagers, who would you think? I know a lot of people I've talked to said Owen.
Yeah.
And I asked them why.
I feel like all Owen has to do is just sit on him.
Yep.
Or like pass gas because like he's not people out with that before.
Owen's a big dude.
He is a big dude. But if we're being realistic, in my opinion, I feel like it would either be Ezekiel or Duncan.
I was gonna say Duncan too.
See, but my thing about Ezekiel is he got them trailer park hands. Like
trailer park hands?
Yes. He's always talking about he's from a trailer park. Like, whenever I hear that, I think about 8 Mile and I think about Eminem. And Eminem is a very aggressive man. So I just feel like, and then Ezekiel turned into like a little zombie thing or whatever, and everybody's afraid of him. So
very true. Yeah.
So they're not gonna stand toe to toe with that Ezekiel. But if we're talking first season Duncan, then yeah, he's knocking everybody out. That's like fresh out of juvie Duncan. Like,
I was just about to say he came from tough times.
Yeah.
Tough times.
Yeah, because I remember they had a dodgeball tournament, and he literally knocked somebody out with a dodgeball. So, yeah.
This makes me want to go rewatch Total Drama Island.
Yeah.
Like, all of them. Not even just the first original one, but all of them.
Yes. Well, that's all we have time for today. If you would like to see more, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MUTV23, or go to our website, mutv.missouri.edu. I'm Alana Hayes, and thanks for watching.